Hi! Now let's talk about how to solve equations with two absolute values. And usually you will be encountered you have the first absolute value, it's equal to the second absolute value. Okay? And what you want to do is, again, you can split into two different equations. And the first equation that you are going to get is you just take out the absolute values. So you will have the first, it's equal to the second. And what I mean by first and second is the inside. So the inside of what you see on the first absolute value and the inside of what you see on the second absolute value. Okay? So the first equation, you just take out the absolute value, nothing tricky, and then solve it the usual way. Or the second case is that what you can do is keep the first, but then you put a negative in front of the second. Okay? You put a negative in front of the second. And you can also solve the equation normally after that. Okay? So I think this is the usual procedure. It will work all the time. And let me show you some examples to see how this actually works. So the first example I want to work with you guys is absolute value 3x plus 1 is equal to absolute value of x minus 5. And that's exactly in this situation, right? Equation with two absolute values. Okay? So let me put this on the side so that we can refer it. Okay, I'm going to split this into two equations, two normal equations that they don't have absolute values. The first one, I will keep the inside of the first right here. So I have 3x plus 1. So 3x plus 1, nothing changed, and that's equal to the second absolute value, the inside of the second absolute value. Again, nothing changed. I will just write down x minus 5. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. You just write down whatever you have first, right, in the first absolute value, and make that equal to whatever you have in the second absolute value. Okay, then as you can see that this is just a normal equation that you can solve. Okay, normal absolute value here to bother you. And then the second equation that we have to get, the second equation for, again, the first will be the same. Okay, the inside of the first will be the same. So 3x plus 1, nothing changed. But then in this case, I want to put a negative in front of what I see in front of the inside of the second absolute value. So I'm going to put a negative and then use a parentheses, and then I put the x minus 5 inside of that parentheses. So this is what I mean by this procedure. Okay, split into two different equations. First is equal to second, or the second case is that first is equal to negative of the second. First is equal to second, first is equal to second, or first is equal to negative of the second. Things like that. But it should be similar to what we have done earlier if that was just a number. Similar procedure. Okay, then once we have this done right here, then we can solve this normally. I have 3x plus 1 is equal to x minus 5. Let me put all the x on the left hand side. So let's minus x on both sides. So here the x cancels out. I have 3x minus x, that's 2x. And let me write down the plus 1, it's equal to negative 5. Then I have 2x plus 1 is equal to negative 5. That's minus 1 on both sides. So these two cancels out. I get 2x is equal to negative 5 minus 1, which is negative 6. So 2 times x is equal to negative 6. Let's divide both sides by 2. And I will get x is equal to negative 3. Again, my first answer. And in this case, the second case here, I have 3x plus 1 is equal to negative parentheses x minus 5. What I need to do first is distribute the negatives into the parentheses. So I will get 3x plus 1, it stays the same, right? But then on the right hand side, in this part, I will get negative x, negative times negative 5 is plus 5. Then I can continue solve this. Let's put all the x on the left hand side. So I will add x on both sides. Because that's a negative x, I will need to add the x. They will cancel. Here I get 3x plus x, I get 4x. Plus 1 is equal to, bring down the 5. And then 4x plus 1 is equal to 5. Let me minus 1 on both sides. Cancels. And I get 4x is equal to 5 minus 1, which is 4. Then 4 times x is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 4. We end up with x is equal to positive 1. So my second answer. This is my second answer. And again, here we actually end up with two solutions as well.